Hey, now I remember. So I took a shower and I got a message. So when I went to see that priest, there was activity upstairs. So um, over Christmas, um, everybody upstairs welcomed us, and there were a whole bunch of men that were working, and I used to do their laundry. And the guy that hung out up there, he would vacuum, he cleaned their house, and he would make their meals, and I did their laundry individually, because that's how I made extra money, right? So um, he, him and I became close. He was making all kinds of dishes, and they had friends. And when my daughter got her Holy Communion, um, they they fixed her hair for her. I mean, it was really cool. It was really neat. I haven't seen her. I have not seen her with that hairstyle in a while, but so she looks so pretty. Oh my gosh, she's beautiful. And so what happened was, it turned out he was sick, and I don't think anybody knew that he liked alcohol or anything to really like. And but he drank, through the day, like, and I didn't really notice, like, I didn't, but there was an issue between me and him. Like, he was like trying to protect me from something. I don't know, but we were just friends. And he told me, I just want you to be safe, He was always talking to me. And then they would speak in Spanish, and then they would translate, because we were in the room. The only one that could understand was my daughter. But she didn't translate very often, only when I asked her to. And it doesn't bother me anyway, because my daughter's dad was French, and all his friends spoke all the time. And then one of his friends, his wife, she was from another country, and she spoke her language. So it didn't bother me that they were speaking like that, care less. So what happened was he gave my daughter a phone, I don't know, it was a really nice phone, oh my gosh. It was a really expensive one too. So he gives her his phone, because we didn't have one. We didn't have a cell phone. And then his mom comes to see me a couple days later. She goes, "You need to ride to the hospital. Can you help us?" I said, "Yes." And I took them both to the hospital. And his mom kept coming back to see me. She's like, he's gonna die. And it was heartbroken. Like, he didn't even tell me. I don't think anybody knew. And I didn't want to go see him like that. I wanted to remember him how I knew him, So I didn't go see him. So he died. And Christmas time, is it Christmas? He died after Christmas, because right before he died, we all went out and had dinner. It was a really great night. We had one of the best times ever. The restaurant was full, and we all had prime rib, and we had our drinks, and it was just really a fun time. So everybody at the house went all to their hometowns. After that, like for Christmas Day and New Year's and that, because most construction jobs don't start up again until the second or third week into February, and I like that, because that's normal. So he comes and visits after death, and I'm like, dude, we're good. I forgave you a long time ago, because I don't hold grudges, right? So I said, we're good, you can go, you can go home, you can go with the Lord, He didn't, he went upstairs. And I kept asking one of his roommates, I would call him and like, are you sure there's nobody upstairs? The toilet would flush, the water would run, you could hear the walking back and forth. I mean, it was like somebody was actually living up there. He goes, it's probably him who passed away. I would love to share his name, but here we don't share things. And so, but it was, interesting. So when I probably went to go see the priest, that's probably what it was about. But then, we moved and, you know, I haven't seen him since. So, but after New Year's, one of my friends said, hey, why don't you come up for for the weekend? I was like, okay. So me and my daughter went up. I hadn't seen him in years. And, he had a house, and his kids were grown, and he had his own little hobbies he kept doing. Sorry about my nose. It keeps itching on the cartridge inside my nose, and it might have been from the exposure I went through. It drives me nuts. And I finally went to an actual doctor because it won't go away, the itching. And it's all swollen in there, and I got scabs and stuff all up inside there. So it's really driving me crazy. But I finally got in to see my doctor to get in to see a specialist, see what's going on in there. So I go to my friends and I'm like, I told them everything that happened, and then I showed them the phone because that's a nice phone for a little girl. I said, well, he left it to her, so the next day, we get up, we take showers, and he is working in his basement on one of his hobbies, and so her phone disappears. It just walked away out of nowhere. I was really bummed by that. I assumed he took it, but he was pretty convincing, so he said he didn't take it. So about a year after we came back, there was an article in that county that a whole bunch of people went into people's houses all over in that area and was taking things. They got caught with a lot of stuff. And so maybe it was one of them, but I just can't see them getting past him, but it is what it is. My father wanted me to talk about that. That phone was just an object. I was disappointed because it was my daughter's. It was actually given to her. But I didn't hold any grudges. I figured, oh well, it's just material. Something better is coming, or somebody needs it more than she did. So, I'm not sure what kind of phone it was. I don't think it was an Apple. But, we just let it go, and we just moved on. But that same weekend, I lost my van. It had a small hole in the radiator, and my motor seized. The really cool part was, it seized like 10 miles from the exit, and it still took me to the exit. It never stalled until I got off on the exit, and I pulled up to the right side, and I called him and said, and I asked for help, and so, they helped us. He came down and got me. He asked me to go look at the vehicle. He got cash for it. I didn't get any of it, but he did. The Lord wanted it out. It's out. And peace and God bless. And remember that the Lord loves you first. All right.